Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I thought it would be fun to see the difference between reverse dyeing with bleach and with Out White Brite laundry whitener. I'm going to start out with two Gildan Ultra Cotton Black t-shirts. I'm not going to tie the shirts the same way, but this video isn't really about the method or the way that I'm tying the shirts. It's more about the method of removing the dye, the bleach method and the Out White Brite method. So I'm going to speed through the tying process, but I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you just a little bit about the two methods. So if you watch a lot of my videos, you're probably aware that whenever I do reverse dyeing, I don't usually use bleach. It's true that bleach is a great color remover and it's extremely versatile. You can use a thickened bleach like a toilet bowl cleaner, or splashless bleach, which is thicker than just traditional liquid bleach. You can either apply bleach with a dye bottle, a paintbrush, dip the shirt down into the bleach. You can use bleach to apply the color remover in real specific areas. So it's great for that. Don't get me wrong, I think bleach has its purpose. I think it's a magnificent product to use to remove the color from a shirt. The downside to bleach is that it can really damage the fabric. It can weaken the fibers of the fabric and cause holes in the shirt, especially if you don't properly neutralize the bleach after you apply it to the shirt. So that's one main reason why I don't use bleach a whole lot, is because I don't want to damage the fabric and I don't want to weaken the fibers on the shirt. Like a black shirt like this, it normally takes it to some form of an orange color, which I think looks really cool. I actually like to just leave the shirt sometimes with the orange and black color. I think those look really cool together. I've seen people get shirts much lighter using bleach, but I'm not quite that daring. I'm a little bit too concerned that it's going to cause holes in the shirt, and so I normally don't try to get it as light as I've seen some people get shirts with bleach. In case you're wondering, bleach is perfectly safe to be used on clothing if you use it the way it was intended, but when you use bleach for reverse dyeing and you're putting it directly on the fabric, it wasn't intended for that. So just to set the record straight, if you're washing whites and you're putting bleach in your washing machine and you're using it according to the instructions, you're perfectly safe and it's probably not going to damage your fabric or ruin your clothing. But for the method that I'm discussing, it's where you're applying bleach directly to the fabric and in pretty high concentrations. Okay, so the next product that I'm going to use is Out White Brite laundry whitener. And it's a product that I usually purchase it at my local Walmart in the laundry aisle. If you can't find it there or at your local department store, I have a link down below in the description for where you can purchase it from Amazon. It's a powdered laundry product that is intended to whiten or brighten whites. The instructions say that you can soak your whites in some warm water and a little bit of White Brite, and it'll perk them up. It'll take out some of the stains and brighten the whites. But I don't use it exactly that way. What I do is I usually sprinkle the Out White Brite over the top of the shirt that I already have tied, and then I pour boiling hot water over the top. That immediately causes the Out White Brite to activate and start removing the color from the shirt. It works really fast. It probably only takes about 10 minutes. You can leave it longer, and that's kind of one of the nice things about the product is it doesn't damage the fabric the way bleach can. It also doesn't have to be neutralized in any way. Normally, when I'm finished using Out White Brite on a shirt, I will go ahead and take it to my utility sink and rinse it a little bit just to get out most of the residue from the Out White Brite. And then I put it in my washing machine along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent. I usually just leave it tied for this whole entire process, especially if I'm going to apply dye afterwards. Out White Brite does have a smell if you're wondering, and it's not horrible, but it does have a smell. But all of the color removers have a smell. That's why I don't use any of the color removers, including bleach, inside my house. I use bleach usually outside in my garage utility sink, and I open up my garage door and try to get really good ventilation through the room. I also wear my respirator the whole time when I'm using bleach and when I'm using any of the color removers. Most of the time I use Out White Brite outside. I guess I could use it at my utility sink, but it's just a little bit easier to use it outside. Okay, so now that I've explained both of the methods that I'm going to use, I'm going to start out by bleaching the first shirt that I tied, the one with all the hearts on it. I'm using a plastic container that I have, and I'm adding bleach to the bottom, and then I'm going to add some water to the top just to dilute it down a little bit. I'm diluting it down about 50%, so it's a 1-to-1, 1 part bleach to 1 part water. Maybe a little bit more water. You can use concentrated bleach if you want. The process is just going to go really fast, and you need to make sure you don't damage the shirt. Before I begin bleaching the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the solution that I'm going to use to neutralize the bleach. I'm using 3% hydrogen peroxide, which you can purchase in the pharmacy department of your local store. I'm using 1 part hydrogen peroxide and 9 parts water. So I'm using 8 ounces of hydrogen peroxide and 72 ounces of water. Okay, so to bleach the shirt, I'm going to add it to my bleach solution and hold it down so that some of the bleach soaks into the shirt and gets into the middle portion as well. The areas that I've tied with sinew on this shirt should remain black. I didn't tie the center portion of the shirt really tight with sinew. I just kind of tied it so that it will hopefully make a few lines on the shirt and give a little bit of a mottled effect to the center portion of the shirt. It's not tight though, so most of the area underneath the sinew in this middle portion of the shirt is going to go ahead and have the color removed. I went ahead and added a little bit more liquid bleach just because I think I added a little too much water. I've sped up the footage, but I left the shirt inside of the bleach solution for about 3 minutes, maybe a little bit over. I want to remove a little bit more of the color in a few areas on the shirt, right on the outside portions of the shirt. So I'm going to use some toilet bowl cleaner, which has bleach. It's a gel, and so it's going to just really sit on top of the shirt. It's not going to soak down into the middle of the shirt like the liquid bleach that I soaked the shirt in. I'm only going to leave the gel bleach on top of the shirt for about a minute or so before I begin rinsing it. I'm going to rinse the shirt really well and untie it before I put it into the neutralizing solution. Once I put the shirt into the neutralizing hydrogen peroxide solution, I'm going to mix it around a little bit because I want to make sure every part of the fabric gets coated in the solution. After leaving it in this solution for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, I went ahead and put the shirt into my washing machine along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent. Okay, so now let's do the second shirt using Out White Brite laundry whitener. I've placed the shirt inside of a plastic container, and I'm going to just sprinkle the dry Out White Brite powder over the top of the shirt. Now I'm going to pour boiling hot water over the top, and as you can see, it starts to immediately remove the color. To speed up the process, I'm going to add just a little bit more Out White Brite to the top of the shirt. Since it isn't totally submerged, I'm also going to turn it over a couple of times in this Out White Brite solution. I think I left it alone in this solution for about 5 to 8 minutes before I took it to my utility sink and I rinsed it in cold water. I went ahead and untied the shirt because I wanted to show you the difference between Bleach and Out White Brite. However, I normally just leave the shirt tied and rinse it, then put it in my washing machine along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent and run it through a wash cycle. So both of the shirts have been washed and dried, and this is what they look like. Okay, so you can definitely tell a difference. The Out White Brite got the shirt a lot lighter than the Bleach did. But let me start by looking at each shirt individually. So here's the Bleach shirt, and as you can see on the back, there are some darker areas of orange and some lighter areas of orange. Strangely, you see the light area underneath the armpit the most of all on the front, which I don't know what that's all about, but it did remove the color from the shirt. And like I said, I figured it would remove a lot of the color from the main bulk of the shirt because I didn't tie the sinew really tight. But all of the areas that I did tie the sinew tight, like around the hearts, that area is still nice and dark. It's really black. And I like the orange. I like the orange and black combination on this shirt. But this shirt would be a little bit more difficult to put certain colors of dye over the top of. You have to take into account that the shirt is already orange, and so it is going to affect the different dye colors that you would go to place on top of the shirt. Lighter colors wouldn't show up as well on this shirt. Because I like the orange and black combination, I'll probably just leave this one that way though. I don't think I'm probably going to add dye to this shirt. Okay, so this is the Out White Brite shirt, and as you can see, it is a lot lighter than the Bleach shirt. The color is more of a taupe color, and of course wherever I added the sinew, those areas are nice and dark too. So the black remained underneath those sinew lines. The reason why I have some of the large streaks of black up kind of right through the middle of the shirt is because that area of the shirt was really thick. And I went ahead and put the shirt into the Out White Brite when it was still barely damp. So just like whenever I dye a mandala, I normally like to do that when it's totally dry so that I get better color saturation in the middle. It's kind of the same thing with Out White Brite. I would have probably had a little bit more of that black area removed from the center part of the shirt if I would have waited until the shirt dried out completely before I put it in the Out White Brite. Because enough of the color was removed from the shirt and the base color of this shirt is light enough, I can pretty much add any color dye that I want over the top of it and it's going to show up really nicely. So I have a little bit more versatility with this shirt. So hopefully this experiment has kind of answered some of the questions that I've been asked a lot about what the difference is between using Bleach for a shirt and using Out White Brite for a shirt. Bleach is very versatile and can be used in a lot of different ways, but I honestly prefer to use Out White Brite if the design that I'm doing is one where I can go ahead and completely submerge the entire shirt. I just like the taupe color and the fact that it's so light and I can put any color dye over the top. By the way, I know some other tie-dyers use Bleach and Out White Brite in different ways, and those ways are perfectly acceptable too. I'm just showing you the way that I use them when I use either of these products on a shirt. You can experiment and find out what way works best for you and which product you prefer. But if you've enjoyed the content of this video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.